Give them all of our enthusiasm and our applause. 22.
All right. Good afternoon. So we are P2P Learning Tree, and we want to improve student achievement through greater student ownership and connection.
Students are thought of as passive instead of active learners in our school system. I know I've been sitting in a Latin class and a teacher who I have no connection with is almost preaching me information and half of it's going past me.
Research tells us and reveals that of all the different ways that we can have teaching and learning in classrooms and in school systems, discussion groups, practice by doing, and teaching others the immediate use of knowledge are the three best ways to improve retention and deepen learning. To do that, we're going to have to actually think about the learning environment and the thinking that we're doing in our learning.
So what if we challenge the assumption that students have to learn from expert teachers? So now imagine a different kind of school, one where students learn by teaching other students. So what would that look like? I mean, you guys, many of you are teachers in this room, and so what kind of student learning would be there if students had to stand in your shoes? So the process here, imagine a head teacher teaching, say, about 4 students, and each of them are not only taught the content, but also how to teach. They go off, they prepare their lesson plan, they get feedback from their teacher, and they go off and teach their peers, and the process continues on. And how do we manage quality in this whole system? So we're trying to build a platform around this to provide content. As you can see, we're trying to provide feedback mechanisms, analytics to find out what students know where.
And our program considers all the stakeholders because we don't essentially change anything. We still have a certified teacher who's teaching to all the current standards and assessing the students, and the same with the budget. There's very little change in that.
So this summer we'll test out the P2P model in a summer camp, evaluate and refine it, and then try it again in a after-school program, and then after that we can expand it and implement it on a larger scale.
How do you select the students in the top of the pyramid? How do you select the first 4 over there?
So we're looking at the analytics that we're collecting about students, what their interest level is, what their past experiences are, what they've really enjoyed in learning before and have gone deeper in it. And these students will rotate depending on the content, right? So we're learning about marine biology, and this is a high school class. There might be 4 students that really surface as the ones that have the interest and the background knowledge, and the teacher moves them forward. In another content area, if we're doing literature, it might be another 4 students. So everybody gets a chance to be an expert.
And our starting group would be selected by themselves in a summer program so that they've put themselves forward for it.
Wouldn't you actually, aren't you creating levels of categories, like first grade students, second, and so on, because the last ones actually are going to get the knowledge on different filters?
They'll shift. Sometimes you're the teacher,
Mandatorily shift.
sometimes you're the leader, sometimes you're the learner.
So you have to shift anyway.
And this wouldn't necessarily be going down in terms of grade level. This might be the same 9th and 10th grade classroom that is learning different topics. And then it would be 3rd grade would also do this, and it would be all 3rd graders learning different topics.
And the quality of the teaching may not be worse on the bottom areas. We're not saying the best students are necessarily at the top, because it'd be based on interest in other mechanisms. So,
But now you confuse me. You said those which rise up would come in the first layer. So
based on interest in other things. So they're not necessarily the best students or the smartest students. Yeah.
okay, specific.
So I'd urge you just to look at some of the things that have been done on trying to keep the status distinctions among students in balance while you're trying some of these things.
That's where the data collection piece is really key. So teachers know who's already taught 3 lessons or 3 content areas, who hasn't, issues like that.